Hi, everybody. This is Victor from Spoken Learning, and welcome to another session. Today, we are talking a little bit about the Americanisms, which are words that are more common to use and listen to in the Americas, in Latin America, of course, not so much in the Spanish from the Iberian Peninsula, but they are still linked. You'll see what I mean when we start with this topic. But before that, allow me to remind you that in Spoken Learning, we provide private Spanish lessons and adults, private Spanish lessons for children and adults. Even if you don't know any Spanish at all, but also if you already have some skills and you want to take them to the next level, we can help you because we're not tutors, we're professional teachers. You can always call or text 832-413-3166. And don't forget to follow us in all of our social media that you can find in the links. Well, if you're watching YouTube, it's in here, and if you're watching Facebook, it's on the top. So without any further ado, let's go with the topic, Americanisms. Okay, what do I mean by that? So I'm gonna share my screen. So Americanisms. As I was saying, words that have an origin in Latin American Spanish, properly originating in pre-Hispanic languages such as Quechua or Nahuatl, among others, being these two the most important, but right, among others. So some of these I have talked before, but very briefly. Some of these are kind of new for me to talk about them, but here are the most important. Alpaca. Alpaca, this beautiful creature, all completely covered in fur. Batata, that's another name for camote, as we call them here in my region. And it's the sweet potato. Batata, camote. Cacao, the seeds to make chocolate. These seeds come from chocolate. These two come from Quechua. This one comes from Nahuatl. This comes from a language from the Caribbean, cacique, which means tribe leader. But also up to these days, cacique now means like a political boss, or in Mexico, also cacique means that you have like terrains and power and you dominate an area. So kind of weird what happened with that word cacique. Caiman over here, this kind of alligator, which is also called caiman. Cancha, a court, field, a yard where you can practice sports, cancha. And caucho, this very, 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 very necessary material to make many plastics items that we use up to these days. Cars. If we didn't have caucho for cars, starting right over there, the wheels of the cars are made of caucho in most of their structure, right? Okay, next part, chicle, chicle, chewing gum, chicle. Chile, as you might know, Chile. Coca, okay, now this comes from the plant, not for the recreational drug. I'm not talking about that coca. This plant, this is the plant. Now, for example, you have know this thing very much by the name today as Coke, right? So that's where the name comes from. Coca, Coca-Cola, Coke, Coca. It's a plant, very, very common in South America, and it's a plant that gives you energy, like a boost of energy. Condor, this majestic creature that lives on South America, very giant bird. It's enormous. I'm not sure if it's the biggest, but it's enormous. That's for true. Coyote, this is small wolf from the region of North America, Mexico, close to the United States. I think there is also coyotes in South America, but I know that they are original from here. Cuate. Now, these two little kids. What do I mean by cuate? Well, cuate is also dude or pal. But cuate is also the way we call it in Spanish, or at least in Mexican Spanish, to a person that to not identical twins. Not identical twins, we call them cuate. Identical twins, gemelos, but not identical twins, cuate. So in the case of these two, they are cuates. They are not gemelos. They are cuates. They born the same name, same mom, and everything, but They are not identical. So, cuates. And guacamole. This is something that is very well known in a lot of regions, even outside of the United States. Guacamole, it's becoming a success, an international success. Papa. Oh, well, first, guano, guano. We're talking about bird poops for certain birds, actually, and certain bats as well. It's used as a fertilizer in many, many regions all around the world, even up to these days. Not so much like in the past, but even up to these days, guano, it's still available there. Iguana, this little creature. Even the name is the same in English, same as guano. Llama, not llama, llama. Very similar to alpaca, but if you notice, this has less fur. It's less fluffy and fuzzy. And loro, another name for parrot, because we also have cotorro. So loro, cotorro, those of two. Papa, coming from Quechua, it's potatoes. Papaya, this name comes from the Caribbean. I'm not pretty sure from where, but it comes from the Caribbean. Papaya, the papaya, as also known in English, and puma, another name that has no translation, right? Puma, wow, majestic animal. Muy bien, tamal, no tamale, tamale. I have heard many gringos, well, not many gringos. I have heard many people, many people that doesn't have the knowledge. Yes, that's what I wanted to say. I have heard a lot of people to say that, call them tamale, not tamale, tamal, right? Tamal. Tapioca, this starchy thing that you can mix with other stuff. Tapioca. To make desserts, most of it. Tomate, tomato, pretty similar in English. Tucan, token, another one that it has an origin in another language and pre-Hispanic language. Aguacate, avocado, aguacate, right here. Barbacoa. Now, barbacoa, it's called to the process of creating, not to the final result. Barbacoa is the process of roasting something in a certain way. Okay, so barbacoa, it's the process, not the final result. Barbacoa. And cacahuate, as we call peanuts in many regions in Mexico. And I think this is the final one. Yes, canoa, canoe, canoa, canoa. Chocolate, coming from Nahuatl. Colibríes, hummingbirds. Hamaca, a hammock, hamaca. Huracán, hurricane. All of these words have transcended languages, and even in other languages, you find the root coming from these actual words and these languages from the past. Jaguar, a jaguar, jaguar, it's over here. Majestic creature as well, and tobacco, tobacco. It's right here, and these ones are artisanal cigarettes, not regular cigarettes, are artisanal. Not too many chemicals in them, and that's pretty much it. That's all that I have. Let me know what you think about this topic now that I have talked about it. It's I found it quite interesting because a lot of these words have transcended to other languages. In English, some of them are actually exactly the same. So it's important to know where is the origin of those words. And thank you so much for your attention. That was all for my part. I hope that you find the topic interesting. And before I go, allow me to remind you that in Spoken Learning, we provide private Spanish lessons for children and adults. Even if you don't know any Spanish at all, if you want to start from scratch, we can help you. But also, if you already have some skills and you want to take them to the next level, you can always call or text 832-413-3166 in order to enroll. And I will see you next time.